final session today, late investment market-ready companies. It's been a real pleasure to hear from everyone today and hear about the fascinating technologies on offer. I'm going to just briefly introduce myself, Peter Thorniley. I'm a patent attorney from Venner Shipley. We are a firm, a full-service intellectual property firm, I guess. Our kind of core business is in the registration of patents and trademarks and designs as well. We also advise on general legal matters to do with intellectual property, renewals, domain names, etc. So a brief word on what intellectual property is. I guess most of you have had some experience. I've heard the word patent mentioned a lot throughout the day, which is pleasing for me. I divide intellectual property up between those registrable rights, which are exclusive, patents, registered trademarks, and registered designs. But please don't forget about the copyrights you have in the materials you produce, and also the know-how you have in the confidential information you've developed over the course of your business, in your staff, and how that can distinguish you from others. Our approach is based on flexibility, teamwork, and ingenuity. We try to match ourselves to our clients. We try to offer a service that goes beyond the standard. I'm not going to take a long time talking about me today because we want to get onto the companies, but I did have a few words that came to mind as I looked through these businesses about efficiency. Clean tech seems to do more with less very often. I looked something up. It says apparently, according to the IEA, $231 billion were invested globally in energy efficiency in 2016. Seems like a lot of money, but it's working. It's making a difference. People are doing more with less. And when we come to your intellectual property strategy, the way you approach any ancillary service, I guess, to your business, the important thing you need to focus on is making sure you do more with less. You allocate the resources you have as an early stage company or a mid-stage company. You have limited resources, you have limited time, you have limited money. You need to make sure it works for you in the right way. And with patents in particular, it's often the case that perhaps people feel, oh, well, we ought to have a patent. We ought to have 2 patents. The other company has 1. We should have 2. You need to understand why you're doing that and why that matters. And that brought to mind this concept in patent law of a long-felt need. You have an invention if you resolve a long-felt need. Well, you shouldn't be engaging in intellectual property unless you understand your need for it. So as you develop an IP strategy, I would ask you, take account of the aims you have for IP. Do you intend to license your IP? Do you intend to retain exclusivity? What's your attitude towards other people's intellectual property? Have you cleared the way? Do you understand the risks that might be there? It needs to take account of your business plan. There's no point having a strategy in isolation. There's no point it being an academic exercise. And it needs, of course, in that respect, to take account of your funding plan. Who does this matter to? Why are you doing this? So what do you need? Do you need patents? Do you need trademarks? Do you need copyright? Have you got know-how that you haven't recognized? Where do you need it? What markets matter to you? And why do you need it? So in that, take account of the markets, take account of people that are likely to invest, what do they need, and people who are likely to collaborate, and of course, your potential exit. Without further ado, I'm going to get on to the business of this afternoon and introduce you to our first speaker, Felix from Via Marina.